We are setting up New Zealand versus Afghanistan in the Cricket World Cup. Dav Whatmore, 1996 World Cup winning coach, here with me. Dav, suddenly the stakes are high because New Zealand they've barely put a foot wrong, but Afghanistan are flying.
They are flying, and I tell you what, from a New Zealand perspective, if there was ever a reason to not be complacent, it was that result yesterday. So almost like Afghanistan almost gave them a little bit of a, an advantage to, we're coming at you. So they're going to be extra careful against this Afghanistan team, which did a wonderful job in Delhi the other night.
Now, you coached a team that entered a World Cup without too many people saying you're going to win.
Yep.
And then you saw them go all the way.
Yep.
Afghanistan will be carrying a lot of momentum, and they'll be thinking, hey, if we can beat England,
yep,
we can beat New Zealand, who were the finalists.
Particularly in Chennai on this pitch. So they'll be hoping like hell it'll be the similar surface to what Australia had when they played India, because the second match there that New Zealand played Bangladesh was a little bit better. So if the Afghanistans get a pitch that's responsive, it's going to be very interesting.
Okay, but I think New Zealand are the perfect team to face a flying Afghanistan because they're a tournament team,
yeah,
and they know how to deflate teams, yeah, who have a bit of momentum with them.
They grind you down, sort of thing, right? They, yeah, just work at you until you're deflated. Yeah, that's true as well, but they have to, with three spinners, they're going to have to do it over a longish period of time. But they can do it. They're also very, very good, and they bat all the way down too. They're missing their captain, right?
Yes, no Kane Williamson, that, yeah, was my question. Yeah. So let's bring up the 11 Dav Whatmore thinks New Zealand are going to be fielding in Chennai. Remember, this is their second game at the venue. They beat Bangladesh, didn't they? Okay, this is what you've gone with.
Yeah, Will Young comes back in.
Yep. So obviously that's the straight swap, right?
Yep.
Will Young comes in.
Yeah, and Rachid comes down.
And Rachid comes down to number 3. The rest of the team more or less, yep, the same.
Mitchell.
I'm just thinking, looking at all this, and obviously Santner bowls there in the power play. You've gone with Matt Henry, Lockie Ferguson, and Trent Bolt. When's Tim Southee going to get a game?
That's right. I was asking myself the same question, but then I looked Matt Henry and Lockie Ferguson, Matt Henry, sorry.
Yeah, Lockie Ferguson and Trent Bolt.
No.
They've been playing. Yes. I think Neesham played the first game when Lockie was, was not fit.
The point I was making is that Matt Henry was leading the wicket takers for this tournament until Rabada got that second wicket today. However, his other partner, Lockie Ferguson, has been very successful in World Cups as well. And then Trent Bolt was specially brought back for this tournament. So it's a very difficult thing to get Southee in at the moment. So I was asking that question myself, Diggy, and if he plays, good luck to him, but I think he'll have to wait, be a bit more patient.
And there's also waiting in the reserves is Ish Sodhi. We thought he's going to start, but is it because Glenn Phillips is picking up wickets with his part-time off-spin? And that's keeping him out, and obviously Glenn Phillips hasn't scored the big runs, but he's a better batter than Ish Sodhi.
Well, he's got wickets. Luckily, I think.
But he still got them?
He still got them, yeah.
But perhaps for balance, I mean, which team wouldn't want a batter who can bowl and keep what he got? 2 wickets against England, he got 2 in the last game.
He can roll his arm over, let's just say that, and good luck to him, these things happen from time to time, and he certainly will. He's a great fielder, even though he's a keeper, wonderful, active in the field, stops a lot of runs, gives you a little bit of off-spin, and he's a decent batter, which hasn't performed yet. So, he's a multi-talented contributor.
Okay, let's bring up the Afghanistan team. This is the team Dav has picked. This is the team he thinks will play against New Zealand. Now, you don't usually change your winning combination.
No,
and these 11 will be flying.
Yeah, I haven't changed this combination. 3 quicks, 3 spinners, as they've been having since the inception of this tournament. And the newcomer here, Ikram Ali Kil,
Yeah.
Very, very impressed with that guy because he's another busy bee, like Rizwan and like Scott Edwards for Netherlands. And he really injected a little bit of life into that middle order. I'm very happy to see that, you know. So he's added...
This is an exciting lineup.
Absolutely.
An exciting lineup because suddenly you look at it, Omar Zai, I saw him in that India game. Shahidi has got the runs. Ikram suddenly comes in. Gurbaz, we know, can get runs. Perhaps a bit more consistency takes them towards 300 and then you put the Kiwis under pressure.
If you keep this group together for the next couple of years, and the only area I reckon they should improve on, look to improve, is the pace bowling. Faruqi, yes, you know, he was
swinging it a lot.
Swung it beautifully.
And Chennai, remember, it's a game where Stark swung it against India. It was a game where Hazelwood and Cummins also troubled India.
Yeah. So, but their pace bowling attack would, I think, a little bit more in the next year or two. And you keep this group together with their spin attack. Ooh, I think they're going to, you know, climb up the rankings a little bit. And
they qualified automatically, despite not barely playing one-day cricket.
That's right, and without a home ground, you know, in their own country. So they've done very well, and they deserve to win that the other night, I have to say. Not as big a upset as...
Okay, I disagree with you there, but it's okay. We can sort of
we agree to
disagree.
Yeah. Okay.
But Mujib and then Rashid and then Nabi, I mean, these are old war horses. They know the conditions very well. They've played there with their respective teams against the Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. You know, we haven't seen New Zealand struggle a bit, have we? And I think this is going to be a true test for them, especially if New Zealand bat first under that hot sun and you have these spinners going at them.
Yeah, well, that's right. I think the team winning the toss will probably have a bowl first because that ball needs to be dry, especially for all the spinners. So, you know, I'm expecting, you know, a difficulty for these New Zealanders should they be batting first. But also, I mean, they are good players, so we have to also give them credit that they just may milk it, knock it about. They have to be smart the way they go about it.
Okay, so Dav Whatmore also, what he does is he sets up the key battles that he thinks are going to define this game. So let's get up the key battles. Dav Whatmore's first one, he's gone for Devon Conway versus Mujib-ur-Rahman. Mujib sort of has done this role a lot, even in the IPL, he's done it. And Conway is also an IPL regular, won the title with the Chennai Super Kings as well, his home ground technically.
That's right, and he's got 229 runs, second in the leading run scorers for this tournament. So you'd have to be, you know, looked at as a potential threat for this Afghanistan team. And there it is. I mean, this guy will open the bowling. He's got these mystery balls. He's got the carom ball. He's got the off break. He's got back of the hand googly as well. So he's got a lot in his bag of tricks.
But so just to expand on that, when you are facing a bowler like that with a bag of tricks, and Conway is someone who likes to get a move on, how does he pace himself? Do you watch the ball and decide split second, I'm going to go, or it's premeditated?
If you're confident you know what's coming at you, fine. But if you're a little unsure and it's not easy to pick it out of the hand, we saw graphics on the television. It's
the three different balls that you bowled,
very similar, you know. So if you're confident you can pick him, that's a little bit of an advantage to you. But if not, you have to play straight. And once it is a little bit offline, then it gives you an option or two. But I'll be looking to play straight as much as possible to start with.
Okay, let's look at battle number 2. This is Naveen-ul-Haq. There's no Virat Kohli around, but he is up against Rachin Ravindra. Remember, got 150 in the first 2 games. They put him up at 2 to sort of accommodate Kane Williamson.
That's right.
Going to go back to number 3, his preferred spot. And I like Naveen. He hits the deck hard. Perhaps not as consistent as he would like.
No, perhaps not, but he's got a big heart. You know, he just keeps running in. And there are times he makes, you know, an error in his decision-making in what ball to bowl, and sometimes he makes an error in execution. But this fella goes on. He's full of heart, and he just gives it everything he's got. And I figure that with Faruqi bowling at one end, and Mujib bowling at the other, there'll be some overs available to bowl to this guy when he comes in. So I'm expecting him to take it away from him, across his body, in the hope of getting a nick. And then he'll have to bowl some of his variations if he doesn't get him out that way.
Okay, let's look at the next one. This is, I think, the really big one, because this is Rashid Khan, who is Afghanistan's Mr. Dependable, and he's up against Darryl Mitchell, who reminds me a lot of Chris Lynn.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, he doesn't care. He first ball, he hit a 6, didn't he? You know, coming in, he doesn't care. If he wants to go for it, he'll go for it. But he's got to be a little careful against this wily old character called Rashid Khan.
He's not very old.
No, wily meaning.
Okay, I get that.
Like a fox. Yeah.
But he's honed his craft in these leagues, all over the world. He just knows. And against England, they were all at sea. Yeah, they couldn't pick his googly.
Hard to get to him because he's got speed in the air, and he's got a number of googlies. You know, everyone now sets up for the googly, the ball coming in. He's a leg break bowler, which not always, many of the balls come in. So he needs to be, a little careful to understand that. And if he's seeing it early enough, that's the key as a batter. If you're seeing it early enough, then you've got a chance to negotiate it. But I wouldn't be attacking him too hard either, to be honest. So that'll be a good battle.
We saw that last World Cup. Teams sort of wanted to play out Rashid.
Yeah. See him off. If he's just keep him out of the wickets column.
Yep.
That's often what coaches and what I also,
You've been telling your teams.
Depending on who you're playing.
Okay. The next one is in Afghanistan batter. You've got Rahmanullah Gurbaz versus Lockie Ferguson. One bowls fast, the other hits it very fast as well.
Yeah, and he's in the top of his form at the moment, Rahmanullah Gurbaz. Very unlucky not to get 100.
Played the IPL, got some big runs there as well.
He did as well, yes. Yeah. And clearly he was burnt, as we say in our cricket jargon. He was burnt for being run out. It was a horrible call, bad mix-up. And he was out for 80 odd. He should have easily got 100. So he'll be looking to continue that form, Diggy, and I really like this guy's attitude. He's another positive guy. He's one that when he faces up, where can I score? Every ball he wants to score. And if he can't, then the last resort is dot ball. So he can play back foot, he can play pull and cut, and he can play on the front foot as well. Really nice to watch him. And he's one of the young brigade.
Do you think are going to take them forward?
Yeah, I think he's the future captain too.
But the difference playing in Delhi, the difference playing in Chennai, where the ball
it might hold up a little bit, right?
It does hold up a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. No, but in the case of Ferguson, the ball's going to come on very fast.
Yeah, but when it hits the pitch, it'll sort of hold up a little bit. So he has to be a little mindful of that. He's got to be smart. You can't just keep. Every wicket's different. He's got to learn that, and if he does, a good 60 or 70 is probably worth 100 in Delhi.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the final one. This is Mitchell Santner, who's going to expectedly open the bowling for New Zealand, and he's got Ikram Ali Keel, who, in fact, when you look at it, perhaps those 58, 60 that he got were the difference in victory and defeat.
That spark. Yeah, he ignited
They had lost wickets in a bunch, and then he took them off again.
Yes, and I think he's got a future, this guy,
But what is Santner doing so well? He's got a bag of tricks as well.
He has, but his bag of tricks more surrounds speed in the ball, the way he varies his pace. He hasn't got the undercutter, he hasn't got a mystery ball. He just ambles up, and with hardly a front arm, which all coaches, get that front arm up. No, he's very unusual.
Unorthodox.
Yeah, but he just releases it beautifully. And, the quicker one is hard to get away because it jams you in for a right-hander. Being a lefty, of course, he's probably got a bit of an advantage going across him. I just think he's going to bowl, clearly he'll bowl his 10 overs. And he was equal leading wicket taker, 8 wickets. He'd be looking to add to that too. And this fella here, okay, he's only playing his second game. But I thought it was worthy of him, to put him in there as a key battle because he's in the engine. He's in the engine room.
He's in the engine room, yes. And that's 4, 5 and 6 is where we are seeing in this World Cup, apart from South Africa, where matches are being won.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, final question to you. Where do you think this game is going to be won? It's Chennai, remember.
It's in Chennai, yeah. I just think spin you've got to negotiate spin, no question about that. The medium pacers might give you something to hit, but sooner or later you're going to have to face 30 overs.
Mujib, Nabi, Rashid Khan.
Yeah. If they can do it well, I think New Zealand, and I think they can.
Okay, on that note, that's it from us on this special segment. We are building up to New Zealand versus Afghanistan. A full detailed preview with Dav Whatmore and one of my colleagues will come your way at 1:30 p.m. India on Wednesday.